Warning, the following review of Transformers Robots in Disguise contains major spoilers. If you have not watched Transformers Prime or this episode yet, view at your own risk. Hello everyone, I'm Sonic, SonicGX98, bringing you the latest on video games, TV news, and more. For today's review, we are going to be reviewing Transformers Robots in Disguise Season 2, Episode 10, Portals, and I've got to say, this episode was incredible. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, out of all the episodes so far in Season 2, this was something I was not expecting from a Robots in Disguise episode, and so, literally, nothing is wrong with this episode. So I'm not going to say that this episode did anything wrong. It didn't. So we're just going to go over and see how awesome this episode is. So the episode starts out with Strongarm and Grimlock working on a the scrapyard, some turret defenses. Grimlock ends up screwing it up and almost ends up killing Strongarm with it, but thankfully Bumblebee's there and he ends up fixing it for them. Basically, then after that they have this whole show about how the team, how Strongarm and Grimlock think that how important Bumblebee is to them, and that they feel like they wouldn't be able to do anything without him. But Bumblebee says that's not the case, but that he's a big help anyway. So then after that, Fix-It tells him to head to the main center of the scrapyard, in which he says that he's been working on the ground bridge and that it's apparently almost ready to repair so that they can get Optimus Windblade Sideswipe and Drift back. But things obviously don't go as planned. While the ground bridge starts to work at first, another ground bridge portal ends up popping up like right in the sky, right above it. But and then those two portals for some reason converge into this super mega giant mega portal. And I'm just gonna let this clip speak for itself right here.
Fix it! I'm trying! Try harder! What's that? No, it can't be. Soundwave.
Yep, you heard right. Soundwave, as in the Soundwave from Transformers Prime, is back, and boy is he pissed. So I did not see this coming for Robots in Disguise. I did not expect anyone from Prime was going to show up. So to see Soundwave of all people show up, it's incredible. So if you remember Transformers Prime, Soundwave was the real deal, and he shows it right here when he spends no time knocking out Strongarm and Grimlock as soon as he escapes from the Shadow Zone, and he wastes literally no time on Bumblebee, knocking him out and basically pulling what he did to Smokescreen and throwing him in the Shadow Zone. So basically, after throwing Bumblebee into the Shadow Zone, Soundwave tries to do the same to Strongarm, but the ground bridge ends up just shutting down before he can, so he ends up just leaving Strongarm and Grimlock in on like a pile guarded by Laserbeak. So basically, Russell, Denny, and Fix-It are able to escape from Soundwave, and they're still trying to figure out how to contact Bumblebee because they have no idea where he is. Now, meanwhile, Bumblebee's still stuck in the Shadow Zone, which is a nice thing because back during this, Bumblebee name drops Jack, Raph, and Nico from Transformers Prime as he's trying to think of how to get out of the Shadow Zone, in which he remembers back in Season 1 of Transformers Prime when they were stuck in the Shadow Zone. They ended up texting Optimus and him to get out because cell phone calls didn't work. For some reason though, apparently radio signals work this time, so he's able to contact Fix-It through his comm link and tell him that where he's stuck and that come up with a plan. Now, one thing I find really interesting about this is the fact that while Bumblebee's in the Shadow Zone, he has this weird distorted checkered camo on him. Now, I haven't seen Transformers Prime in a while, but I don't remember when Starscream or Soundwave or Skyquake went into the Shadow Zone back in Transformers Prime. They didn't have that checkered camo on them, but I assume that might just be a little thing that they decided to do with Robots in Disguise. So anyway, Bumblebee tells Fix-It, Denny, and Russell how dangerous Soundwave is, and that there's no way that they can fight them on their own. And then at this point, Fix-It learns that apparently, so after Jack, Matt, Raph, and Nico trapped Soundwave in the Shadow Zone at the end of Transformers Prime. When Megatron was killed by Bumblebee, he ended up following his body down to Earth and in an attempt to try and locate him, but unknown to Soundwave, he was still stuck in the Shadow Zone. And so when Megatron got revived by Unicron during Predacons Rising and left to go back to Cybertron, Soundwave had no idea where he went, so basically Soundwave's trying to build a beacon to contact Megatron, but since Megatron's light years away after leaving the Decepticons at the end of Predacons Rising, it's going to take forever for it to reach him, but in the process that will drag every other Decepticon closer to him, to the scrapyard, and basically be impossible to take back. So basically Denny, Russell, and Fix come up with this plan to try and take Soundwave by force and destroy his beacon, which Bumblebee says not to, but they go ahead and do it anyway. So after that, we kind of get this like little funny clip of Denny, Russell, and Fix-It basically putting on like makeshift armor from the scrapyard in order to take on Soundwave. We got Russell wearing his old football helmet back from season 1. We got Fix-It wearing like this knockoff samurai helmet that looks like Thrift, so that's pretty funny. And then they all armed themselves with a bunch of turrets from the Alchemor's defense system. So they end up trying to sneak up on Soundwave. Denny tries to take it down, but his aim sucks, so he ends up alerting Soundwave. So in order to buy him some time, Russell and Fix-It end up distracting him. So during this, Denny keeps trying to take down the beacon, but it still doesn't work. However, this does buy time for Strongarm and Grimlock to regain consciousness, and they end up trying to take down Soundwave. Now, what I think is really interesting about this is the whole thing. During this, Soundwave has finally got his ability back to create ground bridge portals at will. Now, if you remember from Transformers Prime, this was like his specialty, in which he was able to take down RC and Arachnid this way. Back in Season 2 of Transformers Prime, when RC single-handedly stormed the Decepticon warship, she was about to get to find Optimus, but had it not been for Soundwave that teleported out at the last second. Same with in Season 3, when Arachnid was going to retake the ship with her Insecticon army. Soundwave was able to teleport them all to a moon on Cybertron in order to get them away. But to me, it seems though, like as Bumblebee even states himself, that Soundwave hasn't done this in a while, so he's a little rusty with it. So this explains why Strongarm and Grimlock, who have almost no experience with Soundwave, are still able to somewhat avoid their portals. So during this, Strongarm and Grimlock are battling Soundwave and Laserbeak. They're doing a good job of dodging their portals for the most part until they end up chasing Laserbeak into one of his portals and end up getting teleported to a nearby cliffside. So meanwhile, we get this short little fight scene of Strongarm and Grimlock battling with Laserbeak, who has definitely proved to be the most dangerous Minicon on the entire series so far. And I really like the way that they did it and show that Laserbeak is no pushover. But then eventually Strongarm and Grimlock were able to defeat him, and so I thought that was a cool thing. Shortly after that, Russell, Denny, and Fix are able to escape Soundwave, and they're trying to rethink their plan. They told Bumblebee that he was right, that they should have tried to attack him with force, but then Bumblebee said that it was the best they could have done. So then, meanwhile, though, after that, Bumblebee's able to come up with a plan to try and get him out. So it involves Fix-It trying to reopen the ground bridge while Soundwave opens the portal to reopen the Shadow Zone and have Bumblebee escape. So basically, they do the same thing. Denny and Russell end up distracting Soundwave while Fix-It runs to the ground bridge to get it open. In the meantime, Russell ends up dodging a bunch of portals Soundwave creates, while Denny ends up becoming trapped in the scrapyard's crane after Soundwave tries to stab him with his tentacles. However, they're too late as Fix-It's able to get the ground bridge portal working as right as Soundwave is about to trap Russell in a portal, the two portals converge and reopen the Shadow Zone. With that chance, Bumblebee ends out escaping the Shadow Zone and destroying the beacon. This enrages Soundwave, and he goes to take on Bumblebee and is about to kill him, but not before Denny ends up slamming the crane or magnet on the crane into Soundwave and knocking him back into the Shadow Zone. And then after that, Fix-It shuts down the ground bridge, so Soundwave is still stuck in the Shadow Zone. But not before Strongarm and Grimlock come back and throw Laserbeak in as well. And if the Soundwave plot wasn't enough, we also got another look at what's going on back on Decepticon Island. So this little storyline I could say here takes place in between various parts of Bumblebee's team battling Soundwaves. Basically, it starts off where the plot at the end of episode 7 Misdirection ended, in which it has Saberhorn and Glowstrike talking to Steeljaw about how now with Scorponok gone, they need someone else to lead the Decepticons alongside Glowstrike, and so they think that Steeljaw is good for it. Now, I think this is one of the really funny scenes in which basically at first Steeljaw seems like Steeljaw and Glowstrike are unappreciative toward him, and then right when he's like, this is like something straight out of an anime when Steeljaw's about to like, he see him about to go and like kill Glowstrike, but when they mention that they want to make him their leader, he ends up brushing it aside as if it was like some sort of anime bullshit. I thought that was one of the really funny moments. So eventually, in order to prove their loyalty, Saberhorn and Glowstrike have Steeljaw, I guess, kill one of their one Decepticon that's supposed to be, that they assume to be a traitor. So he ends up doing that, but then not before, actually then after that, they show him that they've been trying to break into the Alchemors. Well, not even before that. Before they break into that, they find we learned that eventually Glowstrike and Saberhorn have managed to turn all the Minicons protecting the other half of the Alchemor, which is basically a bunch of clones of Fix-It. They've been able to convert them into slaves that perform repairs in the Alchemor thanks to inhibitor collars that they wear on them. So then after that, Glowstrike and Saberhorn show Steeljaw the weapons locker of the Alchemor, which he learns that they've been trying to gain access to 2 Decepticon hunters, and that they think would prove to be very useful in their fight against the Autobots. So, and then it ends with Steeljaw determined to try and figure out how to get those 2 Decepticon hunters, and that's how the episode ends. And so that was my review of Transformers Robots in the Sky Season 2 Episode 10 Portals, and I gotta say one more. This is definitely the best episode of Season 2 so far. It was incredible, no flaws to it. It was great to see Soundwave again, just as he was in Transformers Prime. Steeljaw's plot, it seems like something big's going down. If I were to rate this, I would definitely give it a 10 out of 10. There were no flaws with it. It was an overall fantastic episode. So that's it for this review. I'll be back next week with episode 11, Graduation Exercises. If you like this review, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later.